Is there a law about a certain amount of talking with minors and shit? I'm defending Dr. Disrespect, and I am defending a groomer and a child predator. If he is truly passionate about what he does, and he likes his work, and he wants to keep doing it, he feels there's meaning behind it, then he should keep doing it. Keep watching his content. Keep supporting his content. Because the stuff he's doing behind the scenes has nothing to do with his content. You understand that? I'm gonna get rid of this idiot who says I'm defending a pedophile. I'm not defending a pedophile, you fucking idiot. No, we're gonna keep going, right? And just keep going. Until he finally murders someone, we'll still like him. Okay. Why would you think I'm defending the fucking guy? Are you out of your mind? I feel like maybe he overextended. And now, with all this stuff that's now gonna dry up, like half his income probably gone, I get the feeling he's gonna be in dire straits. But that's a prediction that I'm guessing, and I have no factual basis on that. They outright did horrible racist things, but they're fine. They're still making content. They're still okay. They're still making a living. It's only because of who I am that I'm held accountable for that shit, right? Your ex was underage when you met her. No, she wasn't. There's no factual evidence of it because it never happened. I never even talked to her until she was of legal age. She messaged me out of the blue, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're an idiot. Please support the stream today in whatever way you can, whether it's a super chat, membership, gifted membership, or tip. I certainly hope that you will support it. Phil completely defended Dr. Disrespect. He's defending a pedophile. This fucking person, this idiotic troll, keeps fucking gifting fake memberships, accusing me of being a pedophile. My ex-girlfriend was 18 when she messaged me. I never even spoke to her or knew of her existence on planet Earth until she was of legal age. You incredibly stupid mouth trooper. Get the fuck off my planet. Go to Mars.
The hate army. It's the hate army, bro.
The hate army.
Shout out to hate.
Good vibes to the
Shout
hate
out to
army.
hate.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out
Shout out to hate.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out for
Shout
hate.
out for hate.
Well, everyone, today is going to be a different kind of podcast because, holy crap, 10 minutes ago, Dr. Disrespect just put out a public tweet that has finally fully explained everything that happened with him and his banning from Twitch 4 years ago. This is tying into all this controversy following him over the last few days, accusations being thrown his way by former Twitch staff. I have not talked about it because nothing has been confirmed, but as of 10 minutes ago, he himself has confirmed everything. And now everyone wants my opinion on it, so I guess that's what we're talking about on today's show. This is literally about to be the biggest news on the internet today, and it just broke moments before the podcast. So I guess it's time to talk about this situation today on the Level 1 podcast. This breaking news is just so wild and out of nowhere that it's now time to talk about it. I mean, this is something we've been talking about for 4 years, right? Okay, let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, in its entirety, the truth about the Dr. Disrespect situation has hit the internet straight from the horse's mouth. All right? Let's talk a little bit about what's going on here. 4 years ago, out of nowhere, Dr. Disrespect was outright banned from Twitch TV. Okay? And at the time, there were absolutely no information at all about why it happened. He wasn't saying anything. Twitch wasn't saying anything. They just said, oh, like a violation of terms of service, and that was it. So no one knew anything about what was happening at all, and it was very bizarre that one of their top, streamers and earners would just be banned outright. Now, a lot of people started getting worried and afraid. Does this mean that this is the beginning of it? It's going to happen to a lot of people. Well, it just so happens that after that happened, it did happen to a lot of people, but in various degrees of strength. For example, I was removed from the Twitch Partner Program. When I asked why, they said hateful speech. And I said, provide evidence of hateful speech because I never used it. I want evidence, to which they said, we don't have to provide evidence. Now, they did have to provide evidence. They did not, and I could have sued them, just like Dr. Disrespect went ahead and sued them for banning him. I outright could have sued them and said, hey, this is nonsense. You have to prove that I did something wrong to financially punish me and kick me out of your program. But I didn't do that. Instead, I came here to YouTube, and I've been here now for the greater part of over, 3 years. And I liked being here. I don't have to worry about walking on eggshells and being falsely accused of things I don't do. Okay? So anyway, after this happening to me, by the way, it happened to others. It happened to Wings of Redemption. It happened to a lot of people on Twitch. I almost feel like the banning of Dr. Disrespect opened the door for Twitch to feel like they could go ahead and just start having consequences laid out for people that they deemed controversial and who essentially might be a risk to their public image, which is absolutely hilarious because then they proceeded to turn the entire site into softcore porn. So figure that one out, right? I mean, it really doesn't make any fucking sense. It's obvious the people over there have no idea how to run a business and have always been unprofessional. Anyway, in regards to the Dr. Disrespect situation, things have happened over the years. Dr. Disrespect left Twitch because he was banned and came to YouTube, continued to be insanely successful here on YouTube, although he's outright admitted he makes less money on YouTube than he did on Twitch. That doesn't surprise me. Seriously, like on YouTube, you just can't get the viewership you got on Twitch. There's none of that open, look at the top streamers and people coming over. It's actually hard to even find live streams on YouTube. They don't have a section for it, really. It's very engagement. Everything's different on YouTube. Now, I still like streaming on YouTube, don't get me wrong, but I could totally see why he says it's less profitable. It is less profitable. Since I've been here full-time on YouTube, I have not gotten the level of memberships as I had subscribers on Twitch. There's no Prime subs here, per se. There's no real incentive or anything at all to really do things. Like, there's no cheering wars, there's no cheering trains, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff. So, I get it. I understand why it's less profitable on YouTube. I'm in the same boat, right? And then, guess what he did? He sued Twitch. He did. He outright went and he sued Twitch. Okay? And when he sued Twitch, it was all behind doors. It was never publicly disclosed what the suing was about besides that he had been banned. And guess what? There was a settlement, meaning Twitch would have lost, all right? And Twitch paid Dr. Disrespect a big settlement of money for the fact that they banned him outright without due discourse, without proving that he did anything wrong, right? They did something wrong and ripped him off from a lot of money, and he won the court case. Okay? Now, that's all that's ever been said, because outside of that, all right, it's all legally, like, behind closed doors, NDAs. You can't talk about it. So Dr. Disrespect has never said anything further. Twitch has never said anything further. And so for the greater part of almost 4 years, this entire process has been completely clandestine, shady, behind the scenes. We may never know what happened. Okay? Well, in the last week, crazy stuff has been happening in regards to Dr. Disrespect that I have refused to speak about. Why? Because there's been no evidence of anything. There's been a lot of accusations thrown around. There's been a lot of what ifs. And then there's been seemingly repercussions in regards to the what ifs. Let me explain what's going on. Supposedly a former Twitch employee, and I throw that around loosely because when I say former Twitch employee, Twitch has a million people who work for them who don't. There's people who are like community ambassador volunteers who fucking moderate and do shit, but don't actually work for the company. Don't ask me how they think that's professional, because it's not. That's what leads to insane mistakes like, oh, ban an account because they did something wrong. Oops, they didn't unban it later in the day. It's bullshit. Their company is awful, okay? But anyway, someone who supposedly formerly worked for them put out a tweet, and I'll summarize it here. Yeah, the banning of Dr. Disrespect was absolutely warranted. He was texting or DMing a minor, basically someone who was 17, having sexually inappropriate conversation with said minor, and even trying to like lean towards and get them to go to his room and meet him in his room at like TwitchCon. And when Twitch got note of that, because I guess it was done through Twitch private messages and it was reported to them, okay, they said this is completely unacceptable, and that's why they decided to ban him, citing their terms of service would be never allow that. Well, apparently they did ban him. Then he sued them years later, saying, well, none of this is evidence of any crime whatsoever. Therefore, you banned me outright for no reason, legally anyway, and you owe me money. And then they had a settlement. So apparently Twitch felt they would not have been able to win the court case. They didn't have enough evidence to prove maybe true intent and therefore they did screw up, so they settled so they wouldn't lose the court battle. Okay? Now, that's all well and good, except this is just a former Twitch employee saying this on Twitter. No one, where's the evidence? Can you show us evidence of what you're saying? No, nothing. So without evidence, you can't hold someone accountable. It's just an accusation, right? We actually don't know if this is actually what happened or not. Well, all of a sudden, yesterday, it's announced that Dr. Disrespect's game development company, which he co-founded, I think it's called like Midnight Society, is dropping him. He's leaving the company. They're basically, and then they put out a public statement on Twitter. So we heard all these accusations. We researched it ourselves and looked into it, and we came to an agreement that Dr. Disrespect is leaving the company. Now, what does that sound like? That sounds like they're saying we found out he's guilty of this accusation of, having sexual conversations with a minor, and now we've decided that it's in our best interest to part ways with him. Now, immediately what ended up happening is everyone mass went at the company saying, well, number one, where's the evidence? If you have evidence, show it. And number two, if you're dropping him, just understand no one is ever going to buy or play your game ever again. Like, the only reason we were even involved in your video game is because Dr. Disrespect was the co-founder of the company and we wanted him to play. We were interested in it. We like him. So you might as well just say goodbye. Your game will never sell. Okay? So it's kind of like it was the kiss of death to keep him in the company, and now it's the kiss of death that he's out of the company, right? Now, while all this is going on, guess what else is going on? His other sponsorship deals are falling apart. Apparently, overnight, Turtle Beach, which he has a bunch of branded headphones with, dropped him from their sponsorship. So the question is, what in the holy hell is going on? Why is all this happening to Dr. Disrespect if there's no evidence of wrongdoing? It doesn't make sense, right? Like, it would be one thing if there was blatant evidence on the internet of him doing this, but there's nothing. No one said anything. Apparently, again, remember, there was a whole court proceeding, but apparently there's NDAs out the ass, okay? So what is going on, right? Now we know. Because right before I started this podcast this morning, Dr. Disrespect tweeted himself. Are you ready? I'm going to read it word for word. And this was his original tweet. People are saying he's edited it since. Too bad. I have the original tweet on my screen. So I'm going to read the original version right now. This was posted like 15, 20 minutes ago on his Twitter account, at Dr. Disrespect. You ready? The Twitch ban in all capital letters. Hello, I'd like to make a quick statement. Let's cut the fucking bullshit. As you know, there's no filter with me. Maybe that's a problem. I've always been upfront and real with you guys on anything that I can be upfront about, and I'm always willing to accept responsibility, which is why I'm here now. He's always willing to accept responsibility. Okay. Sure. Let's continue. Here's the thing. I'm just going to say this before I read the rest of the tweet. For those who are, like, shocked at the situation, did you not see the writing on the wall when, one, he cheated on his wife many, many years ago, and then he publicly cried about it so people gave him money and liked him more? Figure that one out. Two, he went to a convention and literally walked inside of a bathroom with a film crew and filmed people pissing without their permission. And then he got kicked out of the convention and almost got arrested for it. I mean, there's always been evidence that this guy does bad things, but people seem to like him more. And that's what I don't understand. The guy is someone who dresses up like a knockoff G.I. Joe character. He acts a character on camera like a Muppet. People like him for that, and that's okay if you like it, but you understand this is all he does. This is his content. You think he's some kind of a fucking hero, a pariah? Like, what are you talking about? The guy has had a history of bad behavior, and he makes schlock content. And it's okay to like the schlock. I get it. It's a shtick. It's funny. But why would you think that this guy is some kind of a fucking hero to people all over the internet? Where did you ever get that information or ever get that two-in-two connection? I mean, I'm at a loss. And I understand a lot of people would say, well, the same thing about you. I never said I'm a hero. I never said I'm someone who should be worshipped or anyone should love. I'm just a regular dude sitting here on the internet playing video games and hanging out with you. That's it. I'm not some fucking multi-millionaire who brings in $50,000 a fucking stream to dress up like a fucking knockoff G.I. Joe. I just don't get it, but maybe that's me because I don't like that kind of shit. The guy's a fucking Muppet. He always has been. That's his shtick. So why do you think that he's, like, not going to be doing wrong things when there's a history of wrong behavior that he's laid out over the last decade? I don't get it. Okay? So now let's continue to read his own tweet. First and foremost, I do want to apologize to everyone in my community, as well as those close to me, my team, and everyone at Midnight Society Game Studio. A lot of people have been left in the dark about what happened yesterday with Midnight Society, what happened yesterday with Midnight Society and we made the painful decision collectively to have me step down. Our team is full of incredibly talented and good people that have high career ambitions and families, and I'd never want to jeopardize the culture we have carefully crafted. Okay. Everyone has been wanting to know why I was banned from Twitch, but for reasons outside of my control, I was not allowed to say anything for the last several years. Now that 2 former Twitch employees have publicly disclosed the accusations, I can now tell you my side of the story regarding the ban. So essentially what he's saying is, because 2 Twitch employees broke the NDA themselves, essentially he can now say whatever he wants legally. Previously he couldn't because of the NDA, but now he's free to say whatever he wants because the NDA is broken by them, not him. Okay, here we go. Were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual back in 2017? The answer is yes. Were there real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. I'm not even going to continue yet. I'm just going to tell you right now, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the actual intentions are. What actually matters is the initial action, right? If you make a death threat to someone, but you say, I never intended to kill them, you're still responsible for the death threat. If you make sexual messages to a minor, even if you never intended to do anything with the minor, you're still responsible for those messages. So the intent doesn't matter. It's the action you already performed. He's already 100% admitted to guilt for a wrongdoing action, and everyone on the internet is now going to accuse him of being a pedophile. I literally don't have to read the rest of the tweet. I don't. I mean, we're done here. Well, I'm going to read the rest of the tweet because he tweeted a ton of shit here. So I'm going to keep going. But I mean, yikes, that's it. He's done. Like, you have 100% admitted that you fucked up and did one of the most heinous things possible. I mean, besides, you know, going the next step, which would obviously have been meeting with this person, right? Okay, let's continue. So here's how he now tries to sugarcoat what he did. You ready? These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes leaned too much in the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. Yes, there is more. You're doing it with a minor, and therefore there's more to it. But you just don't understand that, I guess. But yes, you screwed up hugely. Nothing illegal happened. No pictures were shared. No crimes were committed. And I never even met the individual. I went through a lengthy arbitration regarding a civil dispute with Twitch, and that case was resolved by a settlement. Let me be clear, it was not a criminal case against me, and no criminal charges have ever been brought against me. Of course, because it was your case against Twitch. Like, what is he even talking about there? It was his case against Twitch in a civil suit saying, you terminated my account and partnership with you, which had all this money coming in, just because you saw some whisper messages. And the whisper messages weren't technically a crime, and therefore, how dare you terminate my ability to make money with your business, which, you know, without actual evidence of any real wrongdoing. I guess what it is Twitch didn't feel like there was enough there to say that they 100% had the right to terminate his account. So they did a civil settlement based on what probably he would have made if he stayed with them. I think it was millions and millions of dollars, wasn't it? So I don't get it, because again, I don't know the laws. The laws are very weird and different. Who knows what the law would have been with Twitch? Is there a law about a certain amount of how talking with minors and shit? Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what the law actually is in regards to this. What's legal, what's not. Maybe the technicality was technically what he did wasn't illegal. It was very morally reprehensible, but not illegal. And therefore, Twitch basically banning him for doing something morally reprehensible, but not actually against the law, was a gray area, and that's why he was able to sue them. Who knows? Okay? But basically, that's what he's saying is, yes, he did these messages. This is why they banned him. He sued them. He didn't win the civil case. They settled, meaning they didn't want to take it to trial. Instead, they just wanted to get it to go away, so they paid him money to get him to go away and leave them alone. There you go. Now, let's continue. Now, from a moral standpoint, I'll absolutely take responsibility. I should have never entertained these conversations to begin with. That's on me. That's on me as an adult, a husband, and a father. It should have never happened. I get it. I'm not perfect, and I'll fucking own my shit. This was stupid. This is coming from a guy who already had cheated on his wife, publicly admitted it, claimed that he was changing for the better, and then he's still doing this. Is there really anything else to say about that? I mean, this guy's not going to change. This is a guy who just has this kind of behavior and thoughts in his blood, and he's doing it over and over. And this is someone who you're basically making a hero of content on the internet. Okay, let's continue. Now, with all this said, don't get it fucking mistaken. I've seen all the remarks and labels being thrown around so loosely. Social media is a destruction zone. I'm no fucking predator or pedophile. Are you kidding me? Anyone that truly knows me fucking knows where I stand on those things with those types of people. Fuck that. That's a different level of disgust that I fucking hate even hearing about. Don't be labeling me as the worst of the worst with your exaggerations. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Well, my comment on that is simple. He probably had no idea that the person who he was sexting via Twitch DMs was underage. That's why you don't sext with people on Twitch, you fucking buffoon. You stupid moron. You're a multimillionaire. You're one of the most beloved content creators on the internet. You're married with a kid, and you're sexting people you don't know on Twitch. I think that speaks to the level of intelligence here. Let's continue. But I think I've said what I needed to say regarding the ban itself. That's it. That's why Twitch made the decision in 2020. To my team, community, industry friends that have supported me, I apologize. I wish I could have said all this sooner. You guys have always showed me and my family love and support throughout all these years. We love you guys like you can't imagine. I have the fucking best community in circle. If any of this has made you uncomfortable, I get it. You don't have to support me anymore, but just know you have always been greatly appreciated. But trust me when I say this, to all of my haters and that live and breathe social media with zero real-life experience, I don't give a fuck about you. Finally, if you're uncomfortable with this entire statement and think I'm a piece of shit, that's fine. But I'm not fucking going anywhere. I'm not the same guy that made this mistake all those years ago. But you're the same guy who cheated on your wife, publicly admitted to it, said you were changing, but then you did this anyway. Okay, well, pattern, right? It's one thing if it's like the first time it's happened, then you give the benefit of the doubt. But now you've established a pattern of the same kind of misbehavior, so now people actually know who you really are, and that's the problem here. It would be one thing if it was a first-time offense, but now you got the label for the behavior that you keep making. I'm taking an extended vacation with my family, as mentioned on stream, and I'm coming back with a heavy weight off my shoulders. They want me to disappear. Yeah, fucking right. I hate to tell you, Dr. Disrespect, you're not going to be coming back with a heavy weight off of your shoulders. You're going to be coming back to a situation where essentially all of your sponsors are now going to drop you because you have absolutely 100% outright admitted to sexting a minor. Okay? You're going to come back to a very polarized community. All right? You are. Not everyone is going to be backing you anymore because of what you've just admitted. Okay? And you're going to come back to a situation where you're going to have a core community who are these hardcore people who, no matter what, are going to like you and support you. But it is not going to be the land of rainbows, unicorns, leprechauns, milk and honey that you have had up to now. You have now outright admitted to doing something so bad that even if you intended it or not, it's a pattern of bad behavior. People don't want to be associated with that at a professional level. Period. You'll still have your supporters coming to watch your streams and crowdfund you. But those days of getting all of that money from the sponsorships and shit are done. No company is going to want us to associate with someone who made inappropriate whisper DMs with a minor on Twitch. Period. And you admitted it. So here's the thing about Dr. Disrespect, okay? He's a shtick. And we all know this. The Dr. Disrespect you see on a stream is a character. He dresses up like a cartoon character and dances around yelling and screaming like a Muppet. And this is what people like about him, and this is why he gets money, right? It's a character they enjoy. It's very similar to the early days of PewDiePie and Markiplier, where all they would do is scream like sissies on camera during horror games, and it got them a huge following, right? The problem is, Dr. Disrespect has pigeonholed himself into that content. Here's what I mean. Do you really believe that if right now Dr. Disrespect took all the clothes off and said, I'm Guy, that's his real name, right? Guy. Hi, I'm Guy, and I'm just going to be my normal self here today. Let's play games. Unless he's the character, no one's going to care. And that's the problem. Take a look at others who this has happened to, okay? And they tried to change, and people wouldn't allow them to. The angry video game nerd, the nostalgia critic. These are people who didn't want to continue with those characters, but those characters are the only things people like them for, so they're stuck. Angry Joe outright has admitted, I don't want to do the ginormous reviews anymore. They're too time-consuming. They take too much work. They get demonetized on YouTube, but that's all anyone watches, so he has to keep doing it. And that's what's happened with Dr. Disrespect, okay? Essentially, you made yourself a character. You literally have to dress up as that character forever because it's the only thing people want you for. You didn't present yourself that this is really me. You made a silly character up. And now people want that. Now, do you really think that Dr. Disrespect was going to have longevity being a character? Maybe 10, 20 years, but after a while, the shtick gets old and new characters step up to take over, right? It's not going to remain fresh because it's the same old routine over fucking and over. And that's the problem is, I feel like what his plan was to make maximum profits in a very small amount of time. Like, let me do this for 10 years and bank as much money as I possibly can so then I can live the rest of my life not having to worry, right? But now, with all this coming out, he's about to lose all those big money opportunities that he essentially needed to make to do that, right? All of the product placements, all of the fucking, you know, the headphones, the peripheral accessories and shit. It's all about to go away. And because of that, I now predict what's going to end up happening is he's going to have to keep streaming as Dr. Disrespect for a very long time to maintain the lifestyle he has for himself. Either that or he's going to have to accept, I now, because of my fuck-ups and publicly admitting to them, I'm now going to have to completely downscale my life. Sell off anything expensive that I have, any big ritzy house I have, and essentially cut it all out and just say, I just got to live on, like, you know what I'm saying? On like a minimum. That's what he's going to have to do. Because here's the thing, because, right, for example, Maximum Turbo in chat says, doesn't matter, he's already rich, he could stop working right now. You're right, except I guarantee you his lifestyle is set in a way of his expectation he's going to keep making big bucks. You see? You have to understand something. When you own a big house, you have to pay property taxes on that big house, right? When you own a luxury vehicles, you have to maintain all of that. That's what people don't think about, right? So I guarantee you, right now, he is sweating fucking bullets. He says he's going on a vacation. Why are you going on a vacation right now unless you realize what's going on is ruining your career, right? There's a serious problem here. So, yeah, I guarantee you what's going to end up happening is there's going to be big changes, but I almost feel like he's going to have to essentially change from what his plan was, all right? That's my take on it. Now, listen, here's the thing. If you like Dr. Disrespect for his content, right, you like the character he portrays, I'm going to say something outright that a lot of you probably would not expect me to say. Keep watching his content. Keep supporting his content. Because the stuff he's doing behind the scenes has nothing to do with his content. Do you understand that? Like, the guy, yeah, is morally reprehensible for these actions that he has publicly admitted to. But his content is something different from that. You understand? It is. It's very different. It's a character he portrays. It's something that he worked on to make entertaining. I'm sure he puts a lot of work and hard work into it, right? I don't see why you wouldn't still watch and enjoy his content. Again, there's situations where what you have to do is you have to separate the art from the artist. And if you like the art, just because the artist has done morally reprehensible things, why would you not still like his content, right? But then again, maybe not, because some people can't seem to make that separation, right? So at least these companies are not. These companies who he has professional agreements with and stuff, right? Absolutely not. They're never, they don't want to be associated with something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because people will say stuff like, now listen to this. Someone just said the same thing with Chris Benoit. Well, Chris Benoit was an amazing professional wrestler. He had an amazing body of work. But it was tainted by the fact that he became a murderer when he snapped and killed his whole family. The work is still there. You can't forget it. But it sucks that he lost his fucking mind and did an insanely reprehensible, heinous action, you know. Again, if you... Here's the question is, at what point do you draw the line? And at what point does the personal and professional meld together, right? It's a good question. The bullshit that happens in life, at what point do you say, well, I draw the line and I absolutely can no longer support this? I mean, people have done this with filmmakers, right, over the years, things that they felt were reprehensible. Who was it? Was it Woody Allen? I quote, definitely correct me if I'm wrong on this. Wasn't it Woody Allen who absolutely was like a very well-respected director, but then I guess he like started dating, I believe, like the daughter of someone who was like underage, but then she became of age. I can't remember. I used to know this story, but it was something like that, right? But people still watched Woody Allen movies. Oh, was it Roman Polanski? Is that who it was? I get it confused. I always get story confused. Was it Roman Polanski? There was someone who, like, they got involved with an underage person. The person became of age, and I think eventually they married them when they were of age. But it was always like a taint on their record, yet they continued to make movies that people kept watching, right? Polanski and Woody are both creeps. It doesn't matter. Wow. See, I don't know the full story. But anyway, the point I'm making here is there's many, many people out there who essentially don't really have a very good personal lives, but they've made artistic work that people really like, and then they still get credit for it. It's not like they're completely blacklisted and forgotten and erased from the community, right? Here's another one. Michael Jackson was essentially known as the king of pop, one of the biggest pop musicians of all time. And then when the accusations started hitting that he might have had relations or was trying to have relations with children, right? All of a sudden now, everyone hates him and all his music is completely meaningless. And it's a fucked up situation, is it not? You know? So I guess the question is, where you draw the line? What do you, like, what will really happen in regards to Dr. Disrespect? He's going on vacation, which is absolutely hilarious. That, if anything, that's the worst thing he could possibly do right now. If he really felt strongly about the fact that he did nothing wrong at all, it should be business as usual. It shouldn't be, oh, I've decided I'm no longer going to work right now. I'm going on a vacation. 100% that tells you this is the end. This is a huge changing point. Or else, if he didn't believe that, he would still be on fucking stream right now doing his thing, saying, fuck this bullshit and the haters and nonsense. I'm going to be here. I told you I'm innocent, right? So, yeah, for me, I think that I do feel this is the end of his career as he knows it. I do think he'll still be successful. Being honest, I think he's still going to have a following. I think he's still going to have people who support him. It's just not going to have any professional backing whatsoever. He's not going to have any companies who are going to want to sponsor him whatsoever. And it's going to be solely based on crowdfunding moving forward. Okay? So, yeah. You know, it's pretty nuts. But, man, to finally get the situation out, and I'm going to be honest with you, I am absolutely shocked he just admitted to it on Twitter. 100% shocked that he admitted that on Twitter. I mean, that's something else to me, that he actually outright came out and said that he did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, someone said he edited the tweet, and I'm trying to look at it again now. It looks the same to me. I'm skimming through it. Yeah, I don't see anything new. I refreshed it, and it looks exactly the same. Oh, there's a new version of this post. See the latest post. Never mind. He did change it. Okay, hold on. Oh, he added the word minor. Were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. He added one word, minor, to the post. Huh. So he edited the word minor out. That's the version I read. Then he edited it back in. By the way, a lot of people in chat are being completely stupid. They're saying, I'm defending Dr. Disrespect, and I am defending a groomer and a child predator. I'm not doing that whatsoever. Did I not say at the very beginning of this podcast, this guy has a history of absolutely heinous behavior, correct? He's never going to change because he now has a pattern of heinous behavior. He doesn't learn from his mistakes. He repeats the mistakes. In fact, I'd argue the mistakes are getting even worse now, correct? I've told you over the years, this guy fucking doesn't deserve the popularity he has. He literally acts as a character in a Muppet. There's no reason whatsoever for him to have any kind of popularity outside of being a cartoon character. And I don't know why people hold him in a level of respect that they do at all. I just don't understand it. I'm at a loss. The first moment, if you really have issue with this right now, because this is coming out now, why did you not have issue when it was absolutely proven he cheated on his wife and he publicly admitted it? And why was that not it for you? Why was that not the tipping point? Why is this the tipping point? That should have been the tipping point back then, right? When he's walking, and he's in a convention where he's a guest, and he walks into the bathroom with a full film crew, and he's filming people pissing without their permission, violating their personal privacy, right? And then afterward, he blames the crew, saying it was their idea, right? At what point do you say, gee, maybe this guy's kind of a creep, and we should probably not like him anymore and pay him $50,000 a stream to act like a fucking weirdo, right? At what point does this happen? But these fucking people, no, we're going to keep going, right? Just keep going. Until he finally murders someone, we'll still like him. Okay. I mean, whatever you say. It doesn't make any fucking sense, right? I don't understand this at all, right? So, for me, that's my take, is I don't understand why the moment that he started doing wrong things, people supported him to begin with. And he publicly admits to all of them. It's all proven that it's all true. And he just keeps fucking up over and over. Oh, no, keep tossing this dude money. He's amazing. He's a hero. We really stand for Dr. Disrespect. What do you stand for it now? He literally admitted publicly. You know what I'm saying? He literally admitted publicly to all of this. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't even know what else to say. Why would you think I'm defending the fucking guy? Are you out of your mind? What I'm saying is, if you were already okay with all that shit and you still watched his content and you still supported it, then why is that changing now? You must have already separated the art from the artist, right? So then just keep doing that. He's going to need it because he's not going to have any sponsorships anymore, right? His life is about to change in a very dramatic way because of this. So why wouldn't you, you know? So some people are saying because kids are involved now. I mean, fair enough. Maybe this is the tipping point. For me, the moment that you found out that this guy was being a scumbag, you know, and essentially abusing his celebrity, because that's exactly what this is a case of. It's literally over and over and over. Someone who has gained celebrity, gained fame, gained power, and has no actual way to control himself with that power. He's abusing it again and again and again and again, right? So once you've seen it the first time, okay, fool me once, shame on me. Then you see it the second time, oh, fool me twice. You know, but you know what I'm saying? Like, how many times do you need to be fooled and give this guy the benefit of the doubt? Is this it for you? I'm curious. Is this it for you, and why? Is it because now he's admitting he was sexting a minor? Did he know that it was a minor? Does it matter? That's the point I'm making. Does it even fucking matter? The guy already knew about the wrong behavior from the past, and he continued the incorrect behavior. The morally reprehensible, whether it's legal or not, doesn't really matter. He continued the morally reprehensible behavior. So why did you keep watching? Why did you keep supporting? Think about it. If you are a supporter of his, why did you keep watching and why did you keep supporting? I'm just curious, because I would have dropped him ages ago. That was my case. If I was going to have a moral problem with this guy, I would have had it 100 years ago. Not all of a sudden today because of a tweet. Right? So, I mean, that's my take. You could disagree, but the way I see is, you know, this is it for him. His life's about to change in a very bad way. Now that this has all come out, because you know what? So you know the other topic here is essentially some people are saying, now wait a minute, why didn't Twitch just say all this publicly back then, right? Why didn't they? It's a good question. If Twitch really felt that they were in the right, they should have just outright said everything that was going on during the ban, right? 4 years ago. Well, I guess it's almost 4 years ago, right? Like, why didn't they? Why did they keep it under wraps, right? I don't know. So, it's a weird situation for sure, because a 4-year thing now gets exposed, and now we're all like, how do we deal with this, right? And what does this mean for content creators moving forward? In truth, no, Doc did not win the lawsuit. That is completely incorrect. Doc Disrespect did not win the lawsuit at all. It was a settlement. Twitch did not want it to go to court. They felt like it was going to be too much to be dragged out in court, and they just settled to get it to go away. He did not win. That is incorrect. All right, I'm going to get rid of this idiot who says I'm defending a pedophile. I'm not defending a pedophile, you fucking idiot. Get the fuck out of my chat. Not at any point during the show did I defend a pedophile. You're a fucking moron. So I don't know. Wrong. He did not win. Boy, you guys don't understand the United States legal system, do you? You do not at all, do you? Here's how the legal system works, okay? Someone is going to sue someone for a civil reason, okay? So what ends up happening is as long as the lawyer sets the case and it goes to a court and the court reviews the case and says, okay, there's a legal precedent here for this to happen, all right? Then the parties get together to talk about it, and two things can happen. Number one, it can actually go to a trial where each side has to prove either innocence or guilt within a reasonable doubt. And that determines a verdict. And the verdict says guilty or innocent and what the repercussions are of that, you know, the sentencing. Or if it's innocent, it goes away. Or if you don't want to go through that incredibly lengthy process that could be very expensive and time consuming, you can just say, we go away, let's just do a settlement. Twitch, being a giant company with a ton of money, said, we don't want to go to trial and have this entire thing go drag through the mud. It's going to probably be bad. Even if we win, it'll be bad for us overall. Too expensive, too time consuming. We don't want to be in the public eye in that negative way. Let's just pay this guy some money to make it go away. And that's exactly what they did. They said, here, we'll just pay this money and leave us alone. And Dr. Disrespect said, okay, I agree, and took the money. Now, I want you to think about this. If Dr. Disrespect really was so fucking upset with the fact that he was wrongfully terminated from his contract with Twitch, and he felt that it was a moral problem there and they need to be taught a lesson, wouldn't he have just gone to trial anyway and said, I'm not in this to win a settlement from you. I'm in here to prove that you guys fucked up and to change your system. But he didn't. He took the money and he ran and stayed on YouTube. Why? Because he was already printing money on YouTube from his fan base and he was still getting sponsorships anyway. So what was the actual real reason for all of it? Exactly right. Nothing to do with them doing the wrong thing or changing the system or being morally in the right. It was all about money, 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 money. And he got his money. And that's why he took the settlement. Okay? So, there you go. Yeah, but he didn't win any case. You're completely wrong to say he won a case. He did not win a case. Right? You're completely crazy. Anyway. So, yeah. So, there you go. That's the full situation. I am insanely shocked he made that tweet. That is a career-destroying tweet that he just made. He actually didn't have to legally even say a word at all. He could have just stayed quiet forever. That is crazy to me that he outright said that shit. Right? Sarah says, do I wish that I took Twitch to court when they banned me? Well, let me put it this way. If I were a big-time guy and I had lots of money, I absolutely would have sued Twitch. Yes. Yes. Because that was outright wrong what they did. You have to prove the wrongdoing before you punish someone for wrongdoing. That's the way it works. It's not, we just say you did something wrong and you're gone. No, that's not how it works. Legally, morally, in any way. You know? Now, maybe they would have had evidence. Then they should have at least presented it. And they never did. They refused to. They didn't want to present evidence. They said they didn't have to. That's literally what they said. We don't have to. Okay. Right? So, you know? So anyway, yeah. But I didn't do anything. because, quite frankly, I'm not rich and I don't have time or money to do it. You know, that is really the problem in the United States, is the only way you can have defense against this kind of stuff is to be rich. So you already need to be rich to take action against anyone who does something wrong to you. Right? Right now, there are tons of people who are literally restreaming this stream right now. They have no legal right to do so. If they wanted to take this stream and chop it up and edit it to be a transformative work, they could do that legally. They have no legal right to actually be restreaming my live content because that is considered a live rebroadcast in full. It's not transformative because you're distributing my content for free without me making any ad revenue on it, without me making anything on it. It's theft. It's legally wrong, and I could right now go out and sue the people who do that and have all of their channels shut down and actually take all of the revenue they've ever made on me. But I don't have the time or money to do that. I'm a small little guy who just streams every day and minds his own fucking business and doesn't want to be dragged through the dirt and the drama of a million court proceedings. Okay? So I'm not going to do it. But legally, if I were rich, I could do it. But if I were rich, why would I care? I'm already rich. I don't need that money. Right? That's how fucked up life really is. Is that unless you're rich, you have no repercussions to do anything to defend yourself. Think about that. That's, you know, do you think a public defender is going to give you a good defense in anything? Right? It's like, what the hell, dude? Anyway, so that's what's going on with the Dr. Disrespect situation. If anything else happens, all right, we'll talk about it again. But the way I see it, like, that's my take, is there was already a history of wrongdoing. The fact that people, for some reason, kept giving this guy the benefit of the doubt, and now they're shocked that he's admitting even more heinous wrongdoing, is pretty stupid and hypocritical. Maybe you should have seen the writing on the wall ages ago and stopped supporting the guy to begin with when he did the first 5 wrong fucking things, but you're so dumb you just kept fucking going back. And now all of a sudden you're shocked because he did this? I'm not shocked. That's the kind of person these people are when they show this stuff. You know, there's tons of content creators out there that they can deal with their celebrity fine. They don't go crazy. They don't go over the top. They don't do heinous actions. And then there's some who do horrible things, right? And so why keep supporting those who are doing the horrible things when there's tons of other people out there who can deal with it fine? I don't get it. Because I got to be part of the viral movement. I got to be part of liking what's popular for popularity's sake. Okay, whatever you say, I mean, really, that's how you want to live your life, right? You can't make people be smarter, but if it takes this much for you to realize that someone's a heinous person, I don't even know what else to say. This fucking person, this idiotic troll, keeps fucking gifting fake memberships, accusing me of being a pedophile. My ex-girlfriend was 18 when she messaged me. I never even spoke to her or knew of her existence on planet Earth until she was of legal age. You incredibly stupid mouth drooler. Get the fuck off my planet. Go to Mars. Go burn up. Leave us alone, you fucking idiots. Good. People are just so dumb. And by the way, that's been factually proven for years and years and years. But again, because so many people say something and they're so dumb, they believe it. If 1 million people say something, they just start to convince themselves of it with absolutely no evidence. It's the same thing as, well, Phil was never good at Street Fighter. Oh, wait, except that there's actual factual evidence of him winning multiple tournaments, beating top players like Justin Wong. But we'll ignore all that. He was never good at Street Fighter, right? Because we said it. Right? Stupidity. Okay. All right, guys. So we got it done. We talked about the disrespect thing. It's out of the way. All right? If more developments happen, we'll talk about them again. But I can't imagine what more will happen besides, like, what you expect to happen will now happen. His sponsors will all drop him. There's no company in their right mind that's going to keep him on as a spokesperson or representative or having a sponsorship with him when he literally just publicly admitted to sexting a minor, right? Even if it was unintentional, he admitted it. That's it for that. I do believe people will still continue to support the man and go to his streams and watch his content. It may not have been his big of a popular guy as he used to be. I do feel like there will be repercussions. But then again, for those of who support him, no matter what, they might double up. Like, literally, they might actually double up. So, Atomic just upped his membership, says James Charles got caught 3 times. People still like him. I don't even know anything about that. I can't comment about that. All I know is he's some guy into makeup or something, right? I don't know nothing about that. I want nothing to do with that. I'm talking about from my perspective as a gamer and other gamer content creator. All right. So, all right. Well, there you go. And that's the situation. Like I said, if anything more happens, we'll talk about it, but I don't know if it would. Like, I can't imagine what else would happen besides the obvious that will happen, that he's going to get dropped, and, there's really not much else to say about that. He's probably already rich, filthy rich. So, but again, some of these people, sadly, when they get to that level, I mean, think about it this way. If he can't handle his celebrity in this way, do you really think he handled his celebrity in the financial way well? I feel like maybe he overextended, and now, with all this stuff that's now going to dry up, like half his income probably gone, I get the feeling he's going to be in dire straits. But that's the prediction that I'm guessing, and I have no factual basis on that. I'm just saying, based on the one behavior already being bad, how much you want to bet he also had the other behaviors bad too, right? So there you go. Okay, well, guys, that's that. Goldfish, 13 months as a member. Will Dr. Disrespect be on the Level 0 podcast? There you go. X Shooter, what's going on? Lee Ray Tide says, do you think that he thought the minor was legal in his state? Who knows? Who knows what this guy's crazy actions are? I mean, again, this is someone who was caught out for cheating on his wife. He publicly admitted to it, cried on stream, said he was going to do better, said he worked on it with his wife. They're moving past it. And now here's evidence he's still having the misbehavior years later. So who knows what this guy's intentions are? I have no idea. I really don't know, right? No, I don't think I'm getting any increase in viewers because Doc's viewers are going to look for someone else. Absolutely not. I don't think that's ever going to happen. I don't think we have a crossover in viewership, quite frankly. People go to his streams to look for a guy literally acting like a G.I. Joe, screaming and freaking out and saying dumb shit. People don't come to my streams to see a weird character, a cartoon, right? So no, that's not happening. Cybers TV says, I think Twitch should have said something. Even if they didn't reveal a victim's name, they should be morally obligated to do so. Yeah, I don't know. Again, like, they knew what happened. They know why they banned him, and they didn't say anything. I don't know. That's really confusing to me that they said nothing for 4 years. Parasolo says, this is a strange moral dilemma. If you like the art but not the artist for good reasons, how does one approach the conundrum? I think that's a question for each individual to answer themselves. There are some people who have continued to watch not Martin Scorsese, excuse me, Woody Allen movies. And who's the other guy? I forget. You guys said there were 2 of them, right? People continued to watch their movies, and they still made movies like for a very long time that were popular and got praise and made money. Correct? So I don't understand. I don't get that at all. That, Roman Polanski, that was the other guy. Okay. How did they get away with it, but others don't, right? And again, I don't know. It's so hard to say. It really is. I don't know. Like, exactly. What about a Kevin Spacey movie? Well, was Kevin Spacey ever convicted of wrongdoing? No. But he got thrown out of Hollywood for like 5 years and no one would do anything with him, right? So I really have no clue. What about Mel Gibson, right? Everyone loved Mel Gibson. He was a leading man. He was a director. And the next thing you know, they had him hear him doing a racist tirade, and then also like saying awful things, I guess, to the woman he was with or whatever on microphone. And now all of a sudden, he's completely canceled from Hollywood, right? Or is he? Because I guess he has been in a few things, right? I don't know. Will Smith, that's a good one. Will Smith literally walked up and slapped someone, physically assaulted someone in front of millions of people on television. He was not arrested for it. He was not charged with anything despite it outright being wrong and a crime at the very same time. And by the way, he'll be performing at the BET Awards in a couple days. He's actually one of the featured musicians that will be performing there. So what do you think about that? It seems like some people are just immune. They can do whatever they want. They can completely get away with it. Literally, they could do it on camera in front of millions of people, and they're fine. It's fine, right? Oh, that's fine. Just go ahead and commit the crime. That's okay, right? So it's like, what the hell? But others, no. Others, that's it. That's the end for them. So, I mean, it's wild when you think about it. I don't know, man. See, here's the thing. This kind of thing has happened to a ton of different people, but they still seem to create content and be okay, right? Am I right? Like, there's people who, they outright did horrible racist things.
All right, boys, prepare the slave trade. We're selling it right off for profits.
But then they're fine. They're still making content. They're still okay. They're still making a living. Like I said, I don't think he's going to go away. I don't think this is the end of Dr. Disrespect. I just think that he's going to be a much smaller scale because he's not going to have that name notoriety because companies don't want to do anything with him anymore. You know what I'm saying? See, and here you go. So now there's different levels of morals. And this is what gets me. This is like the discourse that like is fascinating. Sarah just said in chat, it's because pedophilia cannot be compared to slapping someone or cheating on your wife. They're all morally reprehensible. Some may be legally wrong as well, but they're all morally reprehensible. All of them are wrong. So why are they different? And some of them were performed in public in front of people seeing it, right? Like, of those three, right? You say pedophilia, all right? Slapping someone or cheating on your wife. Two of those things were done behind the scenes, never seen by the public, and we only know about it because it was eventually publicly disclosed by the parties involved. The slap actually happened on camera in front of a fucking publicly broadcast event with millions of people watching, and that's the one that doesn't have any repercussions? I'm a little confused. Yeah, Cypress TV says, Logan Paul filmed dead people in Japan. We all remember that. By the way, check him out as a United States champion in WWE and drink his Prime Energy drink. Yeah, because again, it's like, it seems to me like it's just a level of popularity and making money rather than being a good person. You don't have to be a good person at all anymore to be popular. You don't. You don't have to do anything right. You don't have to do anything, you know, that people respect. You just have to have people watching and listening to you. I think that's 100% what it actually is. Let's be honest here, right? That's exactly what it is. It doesn't matter if you're good, bad, ugly, pretty, fat, skinny, male, female, somewhere in between. It doesn't matter what you are or how you act. It's if people will keep watching you and listening to what you have to say. That's reality of life right now. I mean, reality TV, when it started to become popular, was popular because people didn't like the people on the shows. They loved to hate them. And then the shows became more popular. And then those people became celebrities and stars and filthy rich based off of it. It's like, oh my God. Oh, excuse me. From Michael Bay, Kevin Spacey was fondling waiters and stroking them. The guy's a monster. He deserves to be castrated. Wow. Well, there you go. Michael Bay has some very strong opinions on Kevin Spacey. And again, you have to ask the question, if this is true, if that stuff actually was happening, because that's what he's accused of, correct? But if that stuff actually was happening, why is he a free man today? Why is he okay to make content and be in Hollywood, right? It's a good question. Is it because he's so rich, powerful, famous that he gets to get away with it? Or is it that it was untrue? I don't know. I'm not the guy, and I'm certainly not involved in it. So I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. We live in a very weird society of double standards, hypocrisy. It doesn't make sense that one person is held accountable for their actions and another person is not at all. Right? I mean, literally, I get put in the hot seat, right? Because one time, like 2-3 years ago, during a random playthrough that I was doing, I made a joke that you could interpret to be a really bad, insensitive joke. One joke in many years it's a bad joke. I get put on the hot seat. I get called an awful person for making this one fucking joke. And people try to make it like representative of who I am in every single piece of content that I make. And it's not. It's a complete misrepresentation. But I get put over the coals for making a bad joke, right? Other people literally make that joke every fucking day. And they're fine because they're more popular than me. They say and do things way worse than that. And they're fine because they're more popular than me. Because they are big. Oh, it's just a joke. They're not serious. It's if they're infallible. You can't hold them accountable for that, what they said. That's ridiculous. What are you talking about? Right? But me, it's like, oh, completely canceled for making the one bad joke that isn't even as I said it, wasn't how people say it was. You know, people try to say it was a racist joke, and it had nothing to do with race whatsoever. It was just a bad joke in general, but it had nothing to do with that. But they, oh, well, it must because it's Phil, and we always think Phil's doing the worst thing, right? But if I were a 1 million subscriber guy who got 10,000 viewers on a stream and everyone liked me, I could make that joke 40 times a stream and no one would give a shit. No one would bat an eye. It's only because of who I am that I'm held accountable for that shit, right? Do you really think that right now, if I was at an award show and I was sitting in the audience and someone insulted my wife and I walked up on stage and I slapped them in the face on camera in front of everyone, that I would not go right to jail? Do you really think they would give me the good old pass on that one? I don't think so. I think I'd be in jail, just like anybody else, right? I don't think that would happen. I think, you know, I don't know. Anyway, again, I just want to reiterate what I said, because some people are getting back to the Dr. Disrespect conversation now. I think the guy is heinous, just being honest. I mean, after all this stuff going on, I thought he was heinous the moment he had been cheated on his wife. I thought he was heinous when he was walking into stalls recording people without their permission as they were peeing. I think that his content is very lowbrow, sticky shit that looks like a cartoon character. I don't know why you would watch that for more than maybe one stream and get a laugh out of it. It's not genuine. It's all fake shill shit. You know, it's nonsense. Don't get it. But people like it. You know, I can't tell people be smart, like this, don't like this. I can't do that. It's not in my rights, right? People have to wise up for themselves to understand, you know? So now that this is happening, yeah, this is, out of all the things he's done, this is probably the most heinous. Why? Because he's had a pattern of bad behavior and he should have learned from it, but now he's continued it to the point now he did it to the ultimate level of something that you shouldn't do with a minor, right? So it's like, you should have learned the first time, the second time, the third time. Oops, it's time 12, and now you did it with the wrong person, and now look what's happening. You tried to dodge it for 4 years, but the cloud stayed over your head. Well, the lightning finally struck, right? So yeah, I really do not believe whatsoever that this guy's a good guy. I don't think he should be forgiven, but undoubtedly people will, right? People will. They'll forgive him, and he'll still have his core fan base. He will. He'll still have those people who are going to support him. He's never going to go away. Like, he literally said it in his tweet. I'm not going to go anywhere. You know me, you know. Okay. All right. So, guys, I have every intention of ending the podcast on the earlier side to get more Elden Ring gameplay in today. Does anyone else have anything else to say on the subject? Would any more, you know, anything you want to do now, contributions to get shouted out now before we begin? Now would be the time, because now that we've talked about this on the entire podcast, I'd like to move on from it and focus on Elden Ring today. Crackerjack says, I think YouTube is going to separate from him. Do you think so? Do I think Twitch might counter-sue him now? I don't know. I don't know the legal grounds for any of that. I can't, you know, I have no clue. People will be busy with another drama once he returns. Yeah, that's true too. People just move on. What's going on, Game Boy? How are you today? Good to have you. Cadet says, Cadet Tor says, good luck in the game today. Thank you. Sarah says, as someone who survived every attempt at being canceled for 16 years, what advice would you give to Dr. Disrespect? Quite frankly, all right, if he is passionate about what he does, this has nothing to do with his morally reprehensible actions behind the scenes or him as a person. If he is truly passionate about what he does and he likes his work and he wants to keep doing it, he feels there's meaning behind it, then he should keep doing it, right? And it may be for a smaller group, and it may be for a more forgiving group that kind of get the guy or whatever and don't care what this stuff, but he should keep on doing it, you know? If he feels that he truly is doing something good for this planet, making that content, then he should continue to do it, right? But if he was in it just for the money, I mean, the money's going to go, it's definitely going to deplete after that, in my opinion. So, I guess the question will be, what's really going to happen here, right? What was really the truth behind it or whatever? But I don't think he should give up. I think he should keep going. But then again, maybe that's what it was. Maybe he was just doing this for the money. Maybe that's why he did sue Twitch to begin with, instead of just letting it go, right? I don't know. I have no idea. But, yeah. See, here's the thing. When you say I've stuck through 16 years of being canceled and I'm still here, the reason I haven't been canceled is because the stuff that people accuse me of is insanely stupid stuff that either is so dumb or in the past it doesn't apply anymore, or it's not the full truth, or it's not the whole truth, or it's something that's so not cancelable for anyway, but the people are obsessive idiots who follow it. See what I'm saying? They made me into part of lolcow culture, despite the fact that I don't buy into it. I don't feed into it. So literally everything little thing I do becomes the cancelable thing for today, and it just becomes a stupid joke. If you want to know the truth, a documentary about my haters would be way more entertaining than a documentary about me. I'm not a very crazy, over-the-top, zany guy who has done so many horrendous things over the years that a documentary about me is so exciting. But if you actually follow the people who stalk me and the reasons why, and to delve into that, that would be the far more entertaining thing. You see what I'm saying? Nobody cares about Dr. Disrespect's haters. No one cares about that shit, right? They care about him. He's the guy who's so prominent, so popular. And that's why when he does the thing, the cancelable thing, that's why it makes front page news. That's why when he gets banned from Twitch, everyone's talking about it for months and years. That's what I mean. I'm no one. It's, you know, the shit I do is so tiny, innocuous nonsense, right? Oh, no, I said something bad on a stream today. I was mean to someone in chat today. Oh, no, because no content creators ever talk to their chat in a harsh manner for misbehaving or anything. No one ever does that. You know, DSP's the one exception. Everyone else just gets their butt kissed constantly, right? It's like, it's nonsense. The reason I'm still here is because nothing that they tried to cancel me for was ever cancelable behavior to begin with. It's all bullshit. It's stupid shit. Kitty shit. Dumb shit. Like, they literally just said in chat, oh, well, your ex was underage when you met her. No, she wasn't. There's no factual evidence of it because it never happened. I never even talked to her until she was of legal age. She messaged me out of the blue, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're an idiot. You're a literal moron. They make shit up to try to make me look bad and cancel me. This was not made up about Dr. Disrespect. He literally just publicly admitted it, right? That's the difference between me and him. So I really don't know what kind of advice I can really give him besides, if he is passionate, he should continue to still make content. But that's all I can really say. All right, anything else, guys? Well, I know that our podcast was completely zany today. Like, we had no idea that it was going to be anything like this, right? Like, obviously, when I was preparing the show today, I had no clue this is what we were going to be talking about the whole time. I promise you, future podcasts are not all going to be like this. This is just a one-off oddity, literally breaking news moments before I went live on the podcast. All right, so that's why I wanted to talk about it. Get it out of the way. Now we can actually focus on the stuff we're going to do today on stream, rather than it be, you know, so drama. I didn't want it to be drama all day, so I'm glad that we've talked about it. We've got it done, right? I certainly hope that you will support it. You know, yesterday, we had a decently supported stream. I was happy. It was the first time in 3 streams that we had a good supported stream of Elden Ring. Please support the stream today in whatever way you can, whether it's a super chat, membership, gifted membership, or tip. Again, keep in mind, I want to keep this in the main rotation. I'm probably going to be alternating it with some Street Fighter 6 over the next week or two. So please support it. All right. My goal, you know, my goal is hit 50 bucks. That's my main goal. If I could do anything there or higher is great. All right. Thank you in advance to anyone who does support the stream. And by the way, everyone will try to misquote me and say I said things that I didn't say. Well, some people will be like, Phil completely destroys Dr. Disrespect, but that's fucking hypocritical. How dare he? He's a piece of shit for saying negative things about Dr. Disrespect. Then other people will say, Phil completely defended Dr. Disrespect. He's defending a pedophile. I'm like, what? I guarantee you're going to have completely contradictory videos coming out of this podcast, because that's what these idiots do. You're going to see it. It's going to be 100% people trying to spin it in different ways. You might even have the same person make 2 videos that are completely contradictory in one day. I wouldn't be surprised, actually, at all. If that happened, I'd be like, yeah, that's to be expected. That's pretty much the kind of people they are, right? So there you go.
Typically helps me more than anything.